Imagine a planet so hot that it rains molten iron. Sounds like something out of a science fiction movie, right? But what if I told you that this is actually real? Meet WASP-76b, a distant exoplanet where the unimaginable happens. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to live in a world where metals turn to vapor, only to rain down as liquid iron? Or where the temperature is so extreme that even the toughest materials melt away? Let's dive into this fiery world and explore what makes WASP-76b one of the most mind-blowing planets we've ever discovered. WASP-76b. Let me take you on an incredible journey to a distant corner of the universe, to a planet where the unimaginable becomes reality. Meet WASP-76b, a giant exoplanet about 640 light-years away in the constellation Pisces. Now hold on to your seat because this planet has a feature that will blow your mind. It rains molten iron. Yes, you heard that right, rain made of molten metal. WASP-76b is not like any planet in our solar system, it's an entirely new breed of extreme. Its day side is so intensely hot that it can turn metals like iron into vapor. Think about that for a second. Just the thought of a planet where solid metals become gases is enough to make your head spin. What's even crazier is that this exoplanet's night side is much cooler, and that vaporized iron condenses into droplets, creating what can only be described as a molten iron rainstorm on the cooler side. Isn't that just mind-boggling? When we first discovered this planet, we couldn't have imagined that such extreme conditions existed beyond our own world. This planet is the epitome of a hellish environment, one that challenges everything we thought we knew about the universe and the types of places life could potentially thrive. Ready to dive deeper into this scorching mystery? Let's go! Extreme temperatures. Brace yourselves because the temperature on WASP-76b isn't just hot, it's blistering. On the side facing its star, the temperature soars to a jaw-dropping 2,400 degrees Celsius, which is hotter than the surface of Venus, and even hotter than some parts of the Sun. Imagine a place where metal turns into a vaporous cloud just from the sheer heat. The planet's extreme temperature is a result of its proximity to its host star, making its environment more like an oven than a hospitable place. To put things into perspective, if you were to stand on the day side of WASP-76b, you'd be facing a heat that could easily melt steel, let alone the metal used in construction. This isn't just a casual warm day, this is the kind of heat that would cook anything in an instant. But it doesn't end there. The heat is so intense that it causes elements like iron, magnesium, and silicon to vaporize into gases. These gases then get swept away by the planet's winds carried to the cooler side. The truly fascinating part? That molten metal, which should be solid under normal conditions, becomes part of a strange cosmic weather system. You can't help but marvel at how extreme and wild the universe can get when it pushes the boundaries of temperature to their absolute limits. Tidal locking. Imagine living on a planet where one side is always day and the other side is always night. Welcome to the world of tidal locking, and it's the unique fate of WASP-76b. This exoplanet doesn't spin like Earth does. Instead, it is tidally locked, which means one hemisphere always faces its star, while the other is in complete darkness. Can you imagine what that would be like? On one side, you'd be constantly basking in scorching sunlight, while on the other side, you'd be stuck in eternal darkness, where the temperature plummets to unimaginable lows. This unbalanced division creates two extremes, a blistering hot day side and a freezing cold night side. The lack of rotation gives rise to this severe split, and it's a feature scientists have observed on various exoplanets orbiting distant stars. It's a strange but fascinating phenomenon. The day side of WASP-76b receives an uninterrupted flood of energy from its star, keeping it hot enough to turn metals into vapor. Meanwhile, the night side is deprived of sunlight, causing the temperatures to drop and creating an eerie contrast between the two hemispheres. What's even more mind-blowing is how this tidal locking affects the planet's weather systems. Winds carrying hot gases from the day side sweep across the planet, and they bring all kinds of strange, alien phenomena like molten iron rains. The planet's lack of rotation makes it a place where extremes collide, and that makes it one of the most bizarre worlds we've ever discovered. Could life survive here? Probably not. But it definitely makes you think about how other planets in the universe might function in ways we can barely comprehend. Iron vapor and condensation. Now, let's dive into one of the most jaw-dropping features of WASP-76b, The reign of molten iron. Yeah, you heard that right. This planet has a bizarre weather system where iron vapor is created on its scorching day side, and then it condenses into liquid droplets on the cooler night side. This phenomenon is a result of the extreme temperature differences between the two halves of the planet. The day side of WASP-76b is a hellish furnace where temperatures are so high that metals, particularly iron, are vaporized into gases. Think of it as a metal mist swirling in the air, made possible by the scorching heat. But what happens when this vaporized iron is carried away by the planet's winds and reaches the cooler, dark side? The temperature drops and suddenly, that vapor can't stay in the air. It condenses back into droplets of molten iron. This creates an unbelievable phenomenon: iron rain. Now, if you were somehow able to stand on the cooler side of WASP-76b, you'd find yourself getting drenched by droplets of molten iron, which is a little bit more than just a rainy day. These iron droplets would be sizzling hot and dangerous, turning everything they touch into a fiery molten mess. The wind and weather systems on this planet are responsible for this process, and it's a bizarre kind of rain that defies everything we know about Earth's water cycle. The science behind it is fascinating, and it raises questions about how exoplanetary atmospheres work. Could there be other planets where different metals rain down instead of water? And what does this mean for planets with extreme conditions? The iron rain of WASP-76b is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to understanding how wild and strange alien weather can get. Discovery and observations. The discovery of WASP-76b's molten iron rain was a breakthrough that expanded our understanding of exoplanets and their extreme environments. In March 2020, astronomers using the European Southern Observatory's Very Large Telescope made an incredible observation. They detected the presence of iron vapor in the atmosphere of WASP-76b. And just like that, we were introduced to a new world, where conditions are so extreme that metals can exist in gaseous form. This was no ordinary discovery. For years, scientists have been exploring exoplanets and trying to understand how different they could be from Earth. While we've come across many unusual worlds, WASP-76b stood out because of its unique and violent weather system. Thanks to the telescope's advanced capabilities, astronomers were able to analyze the planet's atmosphere in unprecedented detail. They found strong signs of vaporized iron and other heavy metals in the atmosphere, an indication that this exoplanet wasn't just hot, it was a place where extreme conditions could produce strange, almost otherworldly phenomena. But the implications of this discovery go beyond just knowing that iron rains on a planet light years away. It opens up new avenues for studying the weather systems of distant planets, their atmospheres, and how they interact with their stars. The ability to observe such detailed phenomena on distant exoplanets gives us a glimpse into what other extreme worlds might be out there. Worlds where rain could be made of metals, or where the atmosphere could be filled with strange gases. The discovery of WASP-76b's molten iron rain shows us how little we truly know about the universe, and how much more there is to learn. Significance. The discovery of WASP-76b's molten iron rain is more than just an astronomical curiosity. It holds immense significance for our understanding of exoplanetary science and the conditions that exist beyond our solar system. This planet challenges the very notion of what a habitable world could look like. The extreme temperatures and bizarre weather systems are like nothing we've ever experienced here on Earth. Studying planets like WASP-76b helps us understand the limits of planetary conditions and pushes the boundaries of what we consider possible in terms of extreme environments. Beyond the fascination of molten rain and scorching temperatures, there's a broader implication. It raises questions about the diversity of planets in the universe. If a planet like WASP-76b can exist with such harsh and alien conditions, what other kinds of planets are out there? What's the likelihood that there are other worlds with strange weather systems, and could they support different forms of life, or at least show us new ways of understanding how life might adapt in extreme environments? WASP-76. B's discovery also highlights the incredible advances in telescope technology. Observing iron vapor in the atmosphere of an exoplanet wasn't possible just a few decades ago, but now, with instruments like the Very Large Telescope, we're able to analyze these distant worlds with astonishing detail. This kind of research not only broadens our knowledge of the universe, but also shapes the future of space exploration. So, as we continue to look deeper into the cosmos, we're reminded that the universe is vast, full of surprises and far more complex than we ever imagined. And who knows? Maybe this is just one of the many astonishing worlds waiting for us to uncover. So, what do you think? Could we ever encounter a planet as extreme as WASP-76b in our own galaxy? Or are we just scratching the surface of what's out there? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this journey through space as fascinating as I did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to InnoVision Tech for more mind-blowing discoveries. Thanks for watching, and stay curious about the mysteries of the universe.